allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The minutes of the special meeting that took place on 12/18 also. We have 12:09, 12:16, 12:18, and 12:19. So we have 3 of them in there. And then the bills as presented by the clerk. If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes and bills.
I'll second them. It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda, which is the minutes of the 12/9, 12/16, 12/18, and 12/19 minutes, and the bills as presented by the clerk. Roll call vote, Jen.
We have 12/20, but they're all on one sheet.
Oh, and 12/20.
They're all on one.
And that's already on there, so they're all on, yeah. And that was an extension of the 12/19 meeting.
Yep.
Yes.
Schmidt? Yes. Brock-Reed?
Yes, ma'am.
Debbie Wright? Yes. Morgan Johnson?
Yes. Treasurer's report, we don't have one. We'll explain that in a minute. Correspondence, Deb?
Nope.
We have none. The announcement I would like to make is the only announcement I have for this meeting. I'd like to introduce everybody to Kim Edwards. She is the young lady that we've appointed to take the place of Chris Hadley as treasurer. So she will be with us for the next 8 months at least, and hopefully longer. So I'd like you all to meet her, and she'll be busy. And that's, things have progressed, and she's doing a great job of learning already what's going on, but it'll take some time to come right up to speed where everything's at and get everything in order. So Ralph has been a great help of getting her coordinated and going along, and they've been working very well together to make this all happen. So we're lucky to have both of you right now. So thank you very much. The only change I have to the agenda is at the bottom. I'd like to add NCDO, N-E-C-D-O, and I gave you all a request in there. They're requesting funding from the townships. So I put that in everybody's packet. So I'd like to add that to the bottom underneath the library floor plan. Actually, the library floor plan will change to library lease, because they're not done with their floor plan yet. So we can discuss the lease, but Lonnie's not here, so we can address that when we get to it. If there's no other changes, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Moving second to approve the agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No petitions? At this point in time, we'll take public comment on anything that's on the agenda. Yes, Mr. Sparks.
I'd like to thank the township for the investment they had in the transfer station. And I'd also like to thank John for the super job that he does up there. I appreciate it. I don't know if anybody else does, but I do.
Does a good job up there. Has that been working out good with the recycling and stuff better? And up out of on the cement and not quite in the mud and the dirt? So.
A lot easier to follow the snow and the water.
Good.
Just, it's a great improvement. Thank you.
And it goes for all of our staff. Charles here tonight, but him and Bob have both been doing a great job of keeping us pretty much ice-free around things too. So we appreciate the job they're all doing. Thanks, Jim. Any other public comment? None. We'll move on to the first report, would be campground and maintenance and departments. Charlie, does that mean you're giving us a report of what's been going on?
Everything's been going really well. We're getting ready. We're keeping the snow cleared and nice, and we got the fishing tournament coming up. So, and we're trying to keep up with everything at the library and the hall and the school and everything. But overall, everything's been going really well.
A lot of snow plowing.
Yes, a lot of snow plowing. Yep. A lot of snow plowing.
And transfer station, John's not here tonight. Is he? I did give the board a new report on zoning permits. It details all the different permits that we gave, what they were for. Over the year, we did a total of 71 permits for the past year, compared to 54 from the year prior. So that means that the building and stuff has gone up a little bit, which is a sign of things that are getting a little bit better. So at least that's going on. So that was there for you guys to see. And then we had 6 public events throughout the year last year also. So we have there, fire department, Billy.
Fire department, with all the crazy bad weather we've had, it's been surprisingly quiet. Last month we've had 4 fire runs, consisted of down power wire, 1 vehicle fire, 1 mutual aid assist to Station 15, which is Big Prairie, and 1 mutual aid assist to Station 15, that was a structure fire, and then 1 was a mutual aid assist to Station 15 on a distress call, and we had 8 medicals, so only 12 runs for the month. That's as bad as it's been, surprisingly good.
Actually, low runs is a good thing.
That's a very good thing.
Cemeteries, I know Bob had a burial, I think 1 last month. Yeah. So, but otherwise, that's pretty quiet this time of year. Ralph, road projects.
I've received back all of the road projects that I submitted to the county for review and for putting some dollars to them. I have those. I've sat down and come up with a draft program to give you all an idea. I'm not ready to release it to the general public yet because they have to see it and get over sticker shock. What we're doing this year, different than we did last year. Last year we concentrated on paved roads. This year we're going to have about a 50-50 split on improved roads and unimproved roads. A lot of our constituents live on roads like 72nd Street, 48th Street, and I've driven every single one of those roads multiple times, documented where the holes are and everything else. And we have a few unimproved roads that are about the worst roads in this township. And this year's plan will be addressing those. So the next thing that will happen is we will end up working with Kim, the treasurer, and finding out exactly how much road and village money we have. I anticipate we'll be doing that in February. I'll come up with a very concrete plan to present to the board, at which time the same plan will be presented to you so you'll know what's going on. And then at that time, we'll be able to vote on it, get a plan, put some dollars to it, and it will be into Kelly. Our goal is to have our plan for Croton Township into Kelly's hands before anybody else.
It'll be the first time since I've been involved in this board that we'll actually have a plan of what we're going to do with the money before we budget it. Every other year it's been you budget X amount of money and then go out and try to find something to do with it. But this way we're actually developing where it's going and then budgeting accordingly to what the plan is. So we're finally getting on track to doing it the way we're supposed to be doing it. So thanks again for all the work, Ralph. Croton Township Library.
Okay, first of all, thank you to maintenance for keeping our area clean. That's been a major help. Story time is progressing very well. The last activity they did was decorating for Christmas. They received ornaments that they actually made, and each child went home with a book, which was really neat. We also had a used book sale December 6th and 7th, which brought in about $100. And it was well attended. December 14th was our gingerbread house decorating event, which was phenomenal. We had about 75 to 80 people that attended and heard very positive responses. We had Santa come and he had pictures that he would take with the kids. He actually read a story to the kids as well, and it was a very touching moment with some of the kids there. It was very cool. And each child that attended that also was able to pick out a book to take home. And if you didn't receive the Times Indicator, you might want to look in there. There's a huge article on this event in there. It was pretty cool. Events are just beginning is the adult reading program, which goes through till about mid-March. It's just signing up right now. It's about 20 people that have signed up for it, and I'm assuming with the weather changing and getting better, we'll have more coming in to sign up for that. As far as the animals, as far as conservation, things like that on that.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, handing line and stuff, there, because for some reason I didn't, no, yeah, no, I didn't give myself the resolutions. I'll take line since being here. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is, we have several resolutions here. I think it's 1 through 4. And basically what they are, we'll go through them one at a time, vote on them one at a time. I don't want anybody to think we're just rushing through stuff, but it's pretty standard stuff we have to do every year. It sets the meeting dates, poverty exemption, paper of record, bank of record, and those types of things that we have to do every year. So we'll kind of move through them pretty quick, but they're pretty standard too. So the first resolution we have is 1401 that sets our meeting dates for the year. What we did is we went to our January 13 meeting, which was already set in the previous one, but we'll have February 10, February 24, we'll have March 10, March 24, April 14th, May 12th, June 9th, July 14th, August 11th, September 8th, October 13th, November 10th, December 8th, and January 12th of 2015. So that sets those dates. We have 2 meetings in February and March because of the stuff we have to do with the budget. So it takes some extra meeting time here. The only question was June, I did not schedule a second January meeting. So looking at the different plans and stuff you guys are working on for the library, can it wait till that February meeting, or would you like me to put that in there? February should be fine? Okay. And if anything, maybe we could look at holding a joint meeting that we could have your board here and start the meeting early. Because I want to go over that lease also and get that finalized and wrapped up along with that. So we need to get our butts in gear on our end of the lease because you guys have already taken care of it. But we need to have a joint back and forth. So maybe we could start that meeting at 6 and then go right into our regular meeting at 7 that night. So we would post the 6 as a special meeting for us. Okay, there's no other changes in it. I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 2014-01.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2014-01.
I'll support it. It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2014-01. Any questions? Yeah, roll call on all of these.
Kim Edwards? Yes. Debbie Wright, yes. Bob Green?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. The second resolution, which is 2014-02, and that's to set the alternative dates for the March and July Board of Review for the tax review stuff. And the days will be March 9, July, and the third Monday in July. It says Board of Review meeting date during the week of the third Monday in July, and an alternate December Board of Review meeting date during the second Monday of December. If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to approve resolution 2014-02. Ed? Yes.
Debbie Wright, yes.
Resolution 2014-03 is the Croton Township Board Resolution to adopt poverty exemption income guidelines and asset test. Same thing, if there's no questions on it, I'll entertain a motion to pass.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2014-03.
I'll second.
Moved in second to approve resolution 2014-3. Deb?
Debbie, yes. Morgan?
Yes.
Kim? Yes. Mel?
Aye.
We had Lonnie here, we could at least have one vote.
Actually, by not being here, he is.
I know. 2014-04, which is the resolution for bank of record. And the banks that we utilize for Croton Township are Choice 1 of Newaygo, Independent Bank of Croton, Chemical Bank of Fremont, and Isabella Bank of Big Rapids. I'll entertain a motion to approve the banks.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Roll call, Deb?
Debbie Wright, yes. Morgan Heisman?
Yes.
Kim Edwards? Yes. Mel Peet?
Aye.
The next one is Resolution 2014-05, and that's to establish the paper to where we will put all the postings and public notifications for the township activities. And the paper we use is the River Valley Shopper. Motion to keep it the same and use the River Valley Shopper.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. Deb?
Kim Edwards? Yes. Debbie Wright, yes. Mel?
Aye now.
Morgan?
Yes. Okay, there are no board appointments at this point in time, but we are looking for board members. I want people to know that. We have an opening on the Planning Commission, and we have 2 openings on our ZBA. The ZBA and the Planning Commission have 1 joint member that is between the 2 boards, that goes back and forth to let them each know what goes on. Well, that person used to be Kim. But because of the rules of those 2 boards, you can only have 1 board member on each. And since the 2 trustees are already on those boards, when Kim come into this position, they lost her. She was a very good asset to those 2 boards, and then she's going to be a hard one to replace. So we met with the ZBA the other night, had a meeting, and we talked about the different appointments there. We're missing an alternate on that board, and Kim. So the ZBA really cannot appoint that person until the Planning Commission is done, and then the Planning Commission, and then work together to bring 1 member back and forth. So somebody between those 2 boards has to go back and forth. So we've got to figure out who that's going to be, and we're also missing another alternate. We have Bill Nottleman, who's 1 now, but we're missing our extra alternate.
Do you put an ad in the paper?
We're going to put an ad in the paper, yeah. We have for everything else we've done, so we will advertise that too. Yep. Oh, and along with the same thing, we will be running an ad in the paper because we need firemen also. So if you know people in the public or know anybody that's interested in this different stuff, that want to be part of these boards, please get the word out to people that we're looking for participation up in our fire department and for some of the township boards. If you can, please. That's all we have on board appointments right now. The Swan reduction permit renewal is something we've been doing for the last 3 years now, is reducing the number of swans that are on the pond. And each year we have to make a motion and go through the process of making a board motion to renew the permit. We need minutes of that and record that this board did that, so. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This year, we did not reduce any swans. Typically, when they do it, it's towards the middle to end of January, and by the time that came about, it was frozen, they were gone. So there was not much done with it this year. But I think everybody can see our numbers have come down a little bit. I don't think the swans were quite as bad over the last summers they have been, so I think it's being somewhat effective. Animal clinic days, do you know when they are?
They were, last year I believe they were in March.
March.
We usually have them in February,
Yeah.
so,
Do you want to pick days?
well, what we have to do is I get a hold of Holly Moon
Okay.
of her office, and they do the vet. And so they, and everything, like Big Prairie had, actually Big Prairie and us go together. And this year it's actually Big Prairie sponsors,
turn.
so it'll be up there.
Okay.
We did it last year. So I'll get a hold of Judy Baker and see if they're still wanting to do it.
And I think our cost is on.
We split the cost of the vet.
Right.
And
But what is that, a couple $100 or? No, it's much more than that.
No.
it's not,
Okay.
but I'll call Judy.
So find those days and we'll put that back on the February agenda when we know the dates. But we want to continue with that as a board, yes, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Next item on our agenda is the cleanup days. And last year, for the first time, we split the cleanup days with a spring and a fall. And I think it worked out pretty good. I think we got more than we did if we did 2 days straight. So we are going to do that again this year. And the cleanup days will be May 14th and September 13th. So basically, that's the weekend before Memorial and the weekend after Labor Day. Is what we did last year, and that seemed to work pretty good. So those will be the cleanup days. There's not much been progress with the ongoing projects because we were kind of busy over the month of December. So we didn't do too much there. So the next thing is NCRA is a board we're part of with the community. It's called the Newaygo Community Rec Authority. And it's made up of Newaygo Public School, Newaygo County, the Township of Garfield, the City of Newaygo, Township of Brooks, and the Township of Croton. We're all members on it, and we put money into it to maintain and take care of different athletic fields. We've got the sports park up on the way to White Cloud, if anybody knows where that's at, halfway between. We take care of that. The soccer fields in Newaygo, the baseball diamonds there. There's a couple walk paths down at the park that we do. And every year we have, or every 2 years, we have to reappoint members to that board. Currently, I'm the only one that's a member on that board from Croton. I've been working very hard to get Dwayne to come along with me. Dwayne Duchemin is the guy I'd like to get on there with me because he's pretty active in a lot of the youth stuff anyway. So I've been bugging him for a while. I think maybe this year I'll get him. I need to be reappointed to that board, so I'm looking for a motion to reappoint me unless somebody else wants it.
I'll make a motion to reappoint you.
Unless somebody else wants it.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to reappoint me to the NCRA board. All those in favor?
Aye.
And since there's no money involved, I will vote. We were asked, and I guess I'd say presented an opportunity maybe. The chamber, we used to have the Hardy Business Alliance, Croton Hardy Business Alliance is what it was called for quite a few years. Well, that kind of was struggling there, and the local business owners that were active in it kind of got together and ended up joining with Newaygo's chamber, which also joined with White Cloud Grant. They put together a big chamber, and they call it the River County Chamber. So they all joined together, and now they have one big chamber. Well, they're asking us as a township if we want to join it. We are already a member of it under our campground and have been a member of the business line, but we can also join to support them, be a member of the township. So my question is to you guys if you wish to join that.
I think that's a very good idea for us to be involved with the local businesses, and it's a vehicle by which we can support them and promote them at the same time. I think it's a good thing for us to be a member.
They did a lot with the Christmas stuff.
Yeah,
They
sure did.
Helped a lot with that. That was fun.
And it's nice because they have an actual on-staff person that does a lot of their events and runs it all. So it's not all falling on, I mean, most of our events around here fall on Michelle down at the dam store. I don't know if everybody knows that, but she does a lot to put together the dam to dam, the fishing tournaments, and it all seems to fall on one person around here. Now she has some help, so that's kind of a nice deal. I don't know the exact price of the membership, but I believe it's $238.
Depends on what we want.
What are our options? Well, we can get some pretty big options. Starting business partnership is $150. A basic business is $250. A silver partnership is $500. A gold partnership is $15. And a platinum partnership is $2,500. And see what the, yeah. So I guess that would be up to you guys what you want to do here. But I'd say a basic partnership to start out.
Yeah.
All in agreement on it?
Yep.
Okay. So we'll go with the basic partnership of $250. Okay. Ralph, you make that motion, I'll second it.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. Motion and second to join the River Valley Country Chamber at a basic partnership of $250. Roll call, Deb, because it's money.
Debbie Wright, yes. Kim Edwards? Yes. Ralph Green?
I'm in.
Morgan Hines?
Yes. The next one is the library lease. You all have copies of it.
How much did we spend on campground? Is that going to be?
Campground will be the same basic one.
Okay.
Is what we'll do. We're already enrolled in that.
Okay.
Yep, same one as we have in campground. The next thing on here, we changed library floor plan over to library lease. I've given everybody copies of that to go over. I know Ronnie had some concerns with it. So since he's not here, we will put this off till the February meeting when we meet with you guys. But if Lonnie don't have something back to us by that February meeting, we'll proceed with what we have.
We'll
So,
do business.
okay. So we're going to leave that go till February. Then the last thing on our agenda tonight is a request from NCEDO. NCEDO is Newaygo County Economic Development Office. And they wrote us a letter, and basically the entities of the cities give a financial commitment to them and help fund them. And they're asking for a commitment of basically 50 cents per person. $1. They're asking for $1 because they're asking us for $3,204, which constitutes about $1 per person. And then they have a long list of what they've done to bring jobs in. They've worked to bring jobs into the area, establish brownfield authority, build partnerships with community colleges. Work quietly behind the doors. So I don't know if this is something the board is interested in, or if you want more to look at or discuss. I put this on there for your information.
Citizen, Wilson?
Now what, Encino doesn't do a lot to bring stuff to Croton, but I know they do a lot to keep businesses in the towns and to work with them, and they're big with those organizations. Now what that does is it keeps people in the community overall. I mean, if Donnelly was to lose its 700 jobs, it would impact us out here. Even though it's not in our community or in our district, we would feel an impact if something like Donnelly was to go away, because a lot of people that live here work there. So that's the type of stuff I think they're looking, is why they've started to come out to us. I also know there's a little trouble up there on making ends meet. I also know that with new guidelines from the Fremont Foundation, any program that was established by the foundation that needs money every year to sustain itself from the foundation is not going to be getting it year after year anymore. They pretty much said they're there to help get them going, but they're not there to fund them all the way through. And this is an organization that has been primarily funded and run by the Fremont Foundation. So they're starting to look outside to get other revenue to come in. And that's one of the reasons they're starting to come out and pay attention to us now, because before they never needed the involvement of us, and now they do. So I know that with the changes coming in the foundation, that you better look to them for a one-time shot for something, and that's it anymore, because it's not going to happen that way. So it's food for thought. You don't have to make a decision on this, but I just wanted to get in front of you, and you guys can think about it. If you want to bring it back, let me know.
I'd like to bring it back at the next meeting.
Okay.
Because with the option to go 3 different levels, you know, I'm one of these guys that believes in supporting stuff like this.
Let me
I really
ask you
do.
this, would you like Andy to come out and give you his presentation? Because he can sell it or not sell it a lot better than I can.
Sure,
Okay,
that's a good idea.
I will ask him to come out.
I'm sure that these folks would like to know a little bit more about it too, because it's basically their money we're deciding about spending.
Okay, I will invite them to our next meeting.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Pretty smooth. Public comments. Does anybody have any public comments? Lord Jim?
Could you get a financial statement of last year from that outfit?
From Encino? Yeah, I beat you there last year.
I
Yep.
think it'd be interesting to look at that.
Yep. I'll ask them when they come at that next meeting to bring that, or would you like it prior to that?
I think we ought to be able to see what they're doing and how they're spending the money.
What they have. Okay, yep, I can ask that. Andrea?
I don't understand the point of it. We would pay them to do what?
Well, like I say, there's a long list on here. It'd be better, like I say, for Andy to give that to you than me, because
Well, I guess what I'm suggesting is it's a third party. So if it's money taken out of the township to go to a third party, that's extremely inefficient. If we want to economically develop our own area, wouldn't it be better just to go right to our own people?
yeah, but we don't have the staff that they have. If we need, let's say somebody was looking at us, for instance, if there was a business out there that was looking to come to Croton. If that happened and they walked in tomorrow, even before this letter, the first person I would contact is Andy Lofgren, to bring him out with that business to find out what's available for him, incentives to locate here. So he helps those businesses and tries to encourage them. What Encino is supposed to do, and I've not always been satisfied with them over the years. I mean, look back, I've actually voted against funding them when I was in Newaygo. But what they're supposed to do is take a big look at the county and say, a lumber business belongs over here. A retail business belongs here. This belongs here. And encourage and go out and try to find those to go to those areas. Well, he didn't do that. They pretty much directed everything to Fremont. Okay, it all went that direction, and that's what they promoted, and that's where it went. But it was people before Andy Lofgren. Andy has done a pretty decent job of making a broader picture and sending things other ways. But prior to Andy, it was directed one direction, and I wouldn't even have brought this to the board. I'd have fought and argued every minute of this. But they've done a better job over the years, and I know why they're now asking, because they're losing their funding to sustain themselves.
Which should tell us something.
Which
That if
should
they
tell us
can't
something.
afford their own business.
Well, they need to become self-supporting.
Yeah.
One entity is not going to fund them by themselves any longer.
But the other question I have is if a community has their own zoning,
Yep.
why do we need an outside organization to encourage business to come here for us? We already have.
Zoning I mean, maybe I'm right or wrong, but Jim ain't out getting business for us.
Well, no, but you can't,
You know what I mean?
a third party that's government funded is not gonna be efficient at finding businesses to come here.
But-
Businesses will wanna
But
come
they're
here.
but they're supposed to be. That is their role. That's what they're supposed to be efficient at doing.
Well, sure, but that,
Yeah. No, that's what they're supposed to do.
yeah.
Yeah. Do they actually do it, Andrea?
They-
Like I say,
well, I
I'll get the
know-
financials from them. We'll have them come in and do it, because they can tell you what they do a lot better than I do.
Well, I know from the Michigan MEDC,
Yes.
it's fraught with problems because they end up giving the money to their buddies, not the most beneficial business. So again, it's crony capitalism. It's taking money from a neighborhood and giving it
That's
to,
not a substantiated accusation, and I just won't be party to that. I won't go there. I'm for having this gentleman come in and present.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, the prior to this, there were things that were done over there I didn't agree with. I mean, I voted against it. There's no denying what I've done over the years with this. But I am willing, Andy's done a pretty decent job of things, so let him come in and give a spiel before you know what it's about, because I'm not here to speak what it's all about, because I don't know the ins and outs of it that good.
well,
I
I'm just
know the
bringing up
basics
that
of it.
it's inefficient to have a third party.
Yep. So, Jim?
I do think a good financial statement would show us what they are working on and
Yep.
where they're working on what, who's getting paid, how they're spending the money that we may be.
Correct. No, and I agree with that, Jim, 100%, so. Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn, sir.
I'll second that. Well, smokes, that went faster than I thought. Wow, I thought this was. So. We've opted out. When you figure out what